Welcome back to another episode of our GODSUccess Teach and Pray. In this episode, our topic is There is Hope, Part 2. And the verse comes out of Job chapter 14, verse 7. I am His Excellency Dakar. I'm the CEO of Dakar Marketing Tools, as well as your co-host and MC for our GODSUccess Teach and Pray. And with me, I have our Assistant Dean, Bishop Dr. Reginald Benjamin Chaplain. Please take us away.
Thank you, His Excellency Dakar. And it's a blessing to be back to you by way of social media again. And so, as usual, I want to ask you to bow with me in a word of prayer. Father, we thank you so much for allowing us this chance with the listening audience. We thank you for those that have tuned in with attentive ears and receptive hearts. We just pray right now that your word will go out. And that's what you declared in the Old Testament. You said, my word has gone out and it will not return to me void, vain, empty, but it will accomplish and it will conquer everything whereunto I send it out for, even the very purpose whereunto I send it. So allow your word to do just that. Arrest our minds and help us to receive what you are saying and then apply it to our everyday life, as well as share it with somebody else. For we ask this by faith in Jesus' name, amen. Well, today is part 2 of our mini series, and the topic, There is Hope. And as I did yesterday, I want to read 2 verses, verse 7 and verse 14. 7 says, for there is hope of a tree, if it be cut down, that it will sprout again, and that the tender branch thereof will not cease. 14 says, if a man die, neutral gender, man, woman, boy, or girl, if a person dies, shall he live again? All the days of my appointed time will I wait till my change come. So yesterday, by way of introduction, I talked about this current pandemic, that's current event, that's stuff that's happening and going on right now. To give you an introduction to this message, there is hope. So there are 3 points I want to make from what Job gives us in this chapter 14 of the book of Job. Number 1 will be the brevity of life. Number 2, the inevitability of death. And last, number 3, the possibility of another life. Let's take them one at a time, starting with the brevity of life. Job declares that when a person is born into this world, he or she blossoms for a moment, just like a flower, and then withers away. Job says, as the shadow of a passing cloud, she or he quickly disappears and is no longer here on earth. Think about what James says. James 4:14. He says, whereas you know not what shall be on the morrow, for what is your life? It is even a vapor that appeareth for a little time and then vanisheth away. And how about Moses? Moses said in Psalms 90, verse 10, the days of our years are 80 years and 10. That's 70 years. And if by reason of strength, they be 80 years, which is 80 years. Yet is their strength of labor and sorrow, for it is soon cut off and we fly away. So Job told God in verse 5 of our lesson for today, if you go back and read verse 5, he says, humans have a limited lifespan. You've already decided how long we'll live. You set the boundary and no one can cross it. That means God has given every one of us a specific number of days a limited amount of time to live out our lives here on earth. And Job said that no one will live past that suspense date or that deadline that God has set for each and every one of us. The point I'm making here is that Job declared that God has given every single one of us a suspense that we cannot go past. Come hell or high water, we cannot live past the deadline that God has set for us, whatever it is. And no one knows how some people don't live to be one. Some people live 1 year, 2 year, 3, and on up. That's why he gave us an average. And you know, even though the pandemic took out over 4 million people on the face of this earth, you and I are still alive. And because we're alive, we still have hope. Since we don't know what our suspense date is, we don't know what the deadline for us is, we better do all that we can do while we can. If you're ready, then stay ready. If you're not ready, you better get ready. That brings me up to point number 2, the inevitability of death. Verse 7 of chapter 14 says, "But there is hope for a tree. If it is cut down, it will sprout again, and its new shoots will not fail." Basically, Job is referencing that suspense date, that deadline that he talked about in verse 5. The time that God has determined that each and every one of us will die. It denotes that death is a sure thing. As sure as you're born, you will die. And although you were not created to die, get this, death was imputed upon us because of sin and disobedience. God told Adam concerning the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, he said, talking to Adam, "The day you eat from that tree, you will surely die." And God also told Adam, "From the dust you were taken, and to the dust you shall return." And that is why I, as a pastor and other ministers of the gospel, when we do committal service at a graveyard, committing a body to the ground, notice what we say in the committal service: ashes to ashes, earth to earth, and dust to dust. Simply because God does not lie. God said that we humans were taken from the dust, and we humans, when we die, will go back to the dust. How about Hebrews 9:27 says, "And it is appointed unto man once to die, but after this, the judgment." So everybody's going to die one day, ready or not. And when it's all said and done, after the hearty party, after the drinking and gambling, after the tipping and dipping, after the smoking and doping, after the texting and sexting, you better prepare to meet your maker, because you're going to leave here one day. Ready or not, death is coming. And you've got to go as God says all of us will go. So that brings me to my last and final point for the day, the possibility of another life. Job 14:14 states, "If a man dies, will he live again? All the days of my heart's service, I will wait until my release comes." In the original Hebrew text, Job is not questioning, will a man live again if he dies? Rather, Job is making a definitive declaration by stating, even if a person dies, he will live again. Herein is the impetus of my message. We have gone full circle. Job is actually saying he has made up his mind. You and I should do the same thing. Decided not to live on the basis of what he saw he couldn't do, but on the basis of what he said that God said he would do. Death is not the end, but the beginning. Death produces life. How do I know that? Jesus said so. Jesus said in John 12:24, I tell you the solemn truth, unless a kernel of wheat falls into the ground and dies, it remains by itself alone. But if it dies, it produces much grain. So death produces life. Here's my conclusion. In this lesson, Job tells us about the brevity of life. The average lifespan is between 70 to 80 years, but that's nothing to God. That's just the blink of an eye to God. Next, Job tells us about the inevitability of death, that because of sin and disobedience, every single person born into this world will definitely die one day. And lastly, Job tells us about the possibility of another life, that everybody is going to spend eternity somewhere, heaven or hell. Which place you wind up in is predicated upon a decision that you make concerning Jesus the Christ. He's God's only plan of salvation. Accept him and live with God forever in heaven, or reject him and live with the devil in hell forever. The choice is yours. There is hope. Will you accept it? Will you receive it today? I'm Bishop Dr. Reginald Benjamin, Chaplain and Assistant Dean at Global Overday Seminary and University. Thank you for listening to this two-part series, There is Hope. Back to my co-host, His Excellency Dakar. Take it away.
Yes, thank you, our Assistant Dean, Bishop Dr. Reginald Benjamin, for continuing our two-part series, There is Hope. And you just heard part 2, and the verse came out of Job chapter 14, verse 7. So you took us all the way back to Genesis, when Adam and Eve were being deceived and said, "Oh, you can eat from the tree." Oh, guys, that's not what God means. You won't die. But when they're being deceived is that because of the sin, now it says that we will turn, that Adam was from dust, it will be returned to dust. So he wasn't telling you the whole thing, you know. So you all want to make sure that you aren't being deceived, that you are listening to the whole message. You're not taking little slices out and being deceived by that. And like our bishop said, that we all have to one day go. So you want to make sure that you are in the right place. So thank you very much, our Assistant Dean, Bishop Dr. Reginald Benjamin, for that wonderful, wonderful message. Continuing off, yesterday you talked about the pandemic and people not wanting to get masks and not wanting vaccinations and so on, and you were all wrapped it up. So yesterday you gave us the bread, and today you gave us what's in between, the wrap, to put everything together. So awesome. So thank you very much, our Assistant Dean, Bishop Dr. Reginald Benjamin, for that wonderful message this morning. And also, I do want to see you all tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We have our On Point with Rachel Turgeman, myself, and my phenomenal sisters, Her Excellency Cairo and Queen, and Mrs. She is the Miss Black Florida, USA, and I have my other sister, Diane. She is the Miss Black Florida Talented Teen, and we are being elevated as legendary Eubanks siblings, making a positive difference throughout the world. And that is on Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn. You can see the information on the screen. It's On Point with Rachel Turgeman. So look forward to seeing you all tonight. We have our God Success Teach and Pray tomorrow morning. And then with our chancellor. And then tomorrow evening, we have our GODSU Wednesday Icon Talk. And this is going to be highlighting our graduational march and UN report with Queen Mother Dr. Dolores Blakely. She's celebrating 52 years of her anniversary at the UN. And we have Director Her Excellency Cairo, and she's going to make some updates as well. She is the New Future Foundation representative to the UN Youth Representative Community. So look forward to seeing you all there. And then we also have our outstanding global workers as well. You can see them on the screen. And if you want to be one, you can see over here how you can be one. Send your weekly report in by Sunday midnight.
GODSU also has live courses throughout the week. On Tuesdays, we have our live course with our multi-faith love and spiritual chaplaincy course that starts at 6 p.m. to 6:55 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. At 7 p.m. to 7:55 p.m. we have our Christian chaplaincy course, and then at 8 to 8:55 we have our live medical health and wellness chaplaincy course. And lastly, we at 9 to 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we have our live global business and entrepreneurship chaplaincy course. On Wednesdays, of course, we do have our Wednesday Icon Talk and our outstanding global worker. You can see the information on the screen on how to become an outstanding worker. And of course, we do have our Ask Chancellor in 10 minutes. So every Wednesday after we finish our Wednesday Icon Talk and Outstanding Workers, we do have a live. You can ask Chancellor by calling in the number on the screen on Wednesdays, 8 p.m. to 8:10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We have our marketing and recruiting course with our Chancellor, and that is on Thursdays at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to 6:20 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can see the number to call on the screen. And on Thursdays at 6:21 p.m. to 6:55 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we have our live Islamic chaplaincy course, our live family and marriage chaplaincy course on Thursdays at 7 p.m. to 7:28 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Our live military and law enforcement chaplaincy course, that is at 8 p.m. to 8:55 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can see the information on the screen. So thank you. See you there.
I also want to remind you to please like, comment, subscribe, and share to everyone. Need a custom prayer? Send a prayer request to sisterofstrength.us.
I am yours truly, your MC and co-host, His Excellency Dakar. I am Director of Operations at GODSU, and I'm the CEO of Dakar Marketing Tools, which is an international graphic and printing company providing you with all of your marketing needs to help you and your company grow. Our popular products are branded rings, branded pins, branded golf shirts, branded jackets. You can see us wearing them throughout the week. We also have GODSU African American History Bibles, which feature your name, picture, and bio, as well as historical African American in the fields of being an astronaut in civil rights, education, literature, entrepreneurs, medicine, scientists, inventors, religious leaders, military, sports, Hollywood, music, entertainment, government and politics, and blacks in the Bible. In addition, we provide merchandise that is crucial to your business's success, such as our magazines, banners, flyers, digital business cards, and printed business cards. Innovative tools, you can turn your brick and mortar into an e-commerce platform. During this time of constant Zoom meetings and webinars, we at Dakar Marketing Tools want to make sure you're prepared with our Zoom for Profits course. Some of the offered courses are how to make money doing Zoom, Zoom Essentials, Zoom Basics, and turning your brick and mortar into an e-commerce platform. It's on demand. You can see how to register for that today. Also, we want you to be sure to register for our Graduation and Empower You conference. You can see the latest edition on the screen. Be sure to register. We look forward to seeing you there.
So thank you very much. I look forward to seeing you all this evening as well as in the morning with our Chancellor. Thank you.
Global Ovid Day Seminary and University GODSU is a 501c3 interfaith e-learning Global Florida Department of Education Commission of Independent Studies approved degree issuing religious institution of higher learning under Florida Statute 1005.061F in Miramar, Florida, a suburb of Fort Lauderdale suburbs. Our curricula include programs like our theology diploma, bachelor's, master's, and PhD programs, which are designed for students called to the ministries of teaching and preaching. Program enrollees include pastors, evangelists, missionaries, and laypersons. Our additional courses: Entrepreneurial Studies, premier self-development courses on wealth building. We also offer a mini course for youth, the Junior Ambassador Youth Public Speaking, to gain professional and personal skills. Chaplaincy Diploma, Love and Spiritual, Interfaith, and Christian programs. Chaplains are trained, certified leaders attached to either a religious and/or non-religious institution or organization. Cybersecurity IT courses. Our licensed instructor has a 95% pass rate compared to the 30% national average for CompTIA accredited courses, such as Security Plus and Network Plus. 40% of our alum who've gone through our prestigious GODSU honors programs have also previously matriculated through their earned doctorate programs. Our alum include physicians, ambassadors, statesmen and stateswomen, icons and billionaires, religious leaders, titans in business, global philanthropists such as Ambassador of Ghana to the United States, His Excellency Dr. Bafor A.J. Bewa, Ambassador of Nigeria to the United States, His Excellency Dr. Sylvanus Musafor, billionaire builder and dean, His Excellency Dr. Michael V. Roberts, former Maritime Minister, Government of Nigeria, Honorable Dr. Leke Olawale. Our world-class and esteemed professors include Attorney Her Excellency Reverend Dr. Diane Moore Eubanks, Ph.D., Chancellor, Physician Dr. Eric Bizetsky, Clinical Health and Nutrition and GODSU Medical Expert, Physician Her Excellency Rhoda Makinde, Ph.D., Chief Medical Doctor, GODSU, Medical Missions, Dean Michael V. Roberts, J.D., Ph.D., Dean of Entrepreneurship Studies, Dean Kyra Eubanks, Dean of Junior Ambassador, Professor Willis Eubanks, Ph.D., Dean of Cybersecurity Program, Professor Imam Dr. Talib Sharif, Professor Interfaith Program and Chaplaincy, Professor Reverend Dr. William Blake Theology Program Curriculum Development, Professor His Excellency Dakar Ethical and Successful Marketing Techniques, Entrepreneurial Studies.